Based on my understanding of what is going on across the aggregate, it was a phase, a period of time where there were nations decimating, coming down to me. Not going too far back in terms of my memory here, but all of that cleared out and it became an a phase of which is ongoing. I'm believing you have numbers of people in groups searching out for planets to pull out, and it is continuing because these ideas are going around and people want to change in direction of their lives and want to do something else rather than invading and criminal activities and want to get back to normal life, and they can balance their situation by pulling out a planet with positives on it, right? Bringing them out of preservation, which they don't need, of this decimating universe, collecting all of the planet and it going barren. Now thinking that we want to be searching out for the positives, pulling them out, positive nations, and then bringing out back out nations and residents and having a populated universe, not it being barren. But what is the situation now? It is thinking that when it comes to communication between nations, you are like in a situation where it's being more open to communication, not being reserved about giving information about the situations on your planets, your government, lest it be something negative, which makes you reluctant to speak, to go beyond walling and communicate out to existing nations, let them know that you exist, are indicators that you have a planet with a negative situation and cannot contribute to positive activities such as being outside assistance for nations that need it because their government has personnel that need to be removed, be kept from accessing equipment for actualizing, collecting, having net capabilities across space until they have the right people in line, is what I last posted. From the activities I saw on level 2 out here in my surroundings. Of the nations that came out recently, have been out, wanting to know a composite. Isn't it better for me to know that than for me to just think, oh, they're all wall, don't worry about it? Yes, of course, you would be thinking over not knowing. It'd be better to know the composite. If it doesn't look like there's much collaboration between nations in order to provide assistance to each other, you have mostly planets with situations where they are not able to help themselves and also not able to help other nations. If I am to believe that it is ongoing, that there are those searching out for planets to pull out, which have residents with BPC security, not a composite of alive versus dead. We are hitting a spectrum gradient of those with negative to more positive situations in concepts, but in terms of indicators, what do I see? In my situation, it is the gauging of it with the existence, movement, sounds of these imposter family members here. If this does not end, what does it tell me? Ultimately, with the existence of the planets which are out and have been actualized up until now, it hasn't happened, right? The variables which are changing and existing now in the situation are all uh, important to as factors presenting me with what I'm experiencing right now. I think I've detailed what is happening out there up until this point. It is the fact that I cannot know how many nations are out there, their situations, how open they are to communication, versus being what we consider to be negative, as if to think of a negative part of a cycle. nations that were hesitant to speak to each other, walled from each other. It is supposed to be now more open communication, right? You don't get more forthcoming about your issues on your planet. They're not going to get resolved. Meaning that you are part of the party which is liable for its situation being negative and need to be taken out of position, out of ability to be conducting further activities and causing it more detriment. There is no longer this idea of putting planets away. It's handle your issues, right? Communication, however possible, should be conducted and more of this community feeling, not this, if it's feeling reluctant and doubling on what your situation actually is. What are we doing there? It's not helpful to yourself. Are you indicating to me that you are someone that should not even be around? You might be just someone thrown on the front in order to hide the fact that you're being pulled out for this other nation's objectives. Entering a kind of different phase here, which I will state again. Be more communicative and open about your situations and reaching out to other nations for assistance. Otherwise, the aggregate situation doesn't improve, your nation's situation doesn't improve, my situation doesn't move on over here.